Please stand for the presentation of the colors. Advance the colors. Can everyone now please recite the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please post the colors. Welcome to Troop 64's Eagle Court of Honor for Jonathan Suppes. I would like to introduce our troop leader, George Farbilla, who will now serve as chairperson for the Court of Honor. Reverend Vonderborg will now lead us in the invocation.
Oh, let us pray. God and Father of us all, may today truly be a very happy and joyous, meaningful and moving and memorable day in Jonathan's life upon his receiving and reaching the rank of Eagle Scout. May he be found looking back pleasurably and also proudly to his days spent in Troop 64, his earning of merit badges, and his completing of his Eagle Scout Project Service Award, which was the restoring of Bedford Park. And as we pray that this will be a joyous occasion for Jonathan, we also pray that it will also be for his parents, Barbara and Teddy, his brothers, Nicholas and Matthew, his grandfather Mitchell, his Aunt Susan and other aunts and uncles, his family members, his good friends, his invited guests, his scout leaders, and also his fellow scouts. And as we can be found joyously looking forward to Jonathan's becoming an Eagle Scout here today, marked by our physical presence with him here this day, fill us with the feeling that his grandmother, Helen, who upon her recent leaving for living an eternal life, is joyously looking down today upon her grandson Jonathan's becoming an Eagle Scout today, marked by her spiritual presence with her grandson Jonathan this afternoon. Indeed, may this truly be a joyous and happy day for us all, especially Jonathan. For this we pray this day. Amen.
Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I would first like to acknowledge all the Eagle Scouts, adults and youth who are here today. Eagle Scouts, please stand to be acknowledged. I want to welcome you all to Jonathan Suppes' Eagle Court of Honor. And before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, scouts and scouters, we're here today to confer the rank of Eagle upon this candidate of Troop 64, Three Rivers District, Northern New Jersey Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Before we bestow this honor, we wish to acquaint you with the rigid requirements that a young man must complete before receiving the rank of Eagle Scout. Eagle Scout is the highest award that a member of the Boy Scouts of America can earn. Eagle Scout compares favorably with the honors The degrees and the titles conferred by religious organizations, civic organizations, fraternal, and service organizations upon their members for meritorious and great service to their communities, to their state, and to their nation. The National Council of the Boy Scouts of America requires that each applicant for the rank of Eagle Scout must complete and have been awarded 21 merit badges, 11 of which are required and which take months of commitment, hard work, and dedication to achieve. These badges are designed to build confidence, to build leadership, to build life skills, to bolster physical fitness, and mainly to instill a sense of honor and pride into each of our Boy Scouts. While holding the rank of Life Scout, the Scout must be active in the troop. He must hold a position of leadership for a period of 6 months, and he must perform a service project which is beneficial to his community, to his church, or to his school. That project must be approved by a Scoutmaster. It must then be approved by a district advancement chairman, and upon completion, the Scoutmaster, based on his interview and his findings with the Scout, will recommend the Scout for the rank of Eagle. That recommendation is then forwarded to the Northern New Jersey Boy Scout Council for review, and then is further forwarded to the Three Rivers District Eagle Board of Review. That board consists of 3 members from the Scouts community. It also includes a representative of the District Committee for Advancement. The Scout then appears before the committee. The committee will interview the Scout and ask him questions and interview him regarding his scouting experience, and that will conclude his evaluation for Eagle rank. If the Scout is then finally successful in that interview, that committee will pass on their recommendation for awarding the rank of Eagle, finally to the Boy Scouts National Council Board of Review, upon which, if they concur, the rank of Eagle Scout will then be awarded. Now, on behalf of Troop 64, Dumont, New Jersey, Northern New Jersey Council, I now declare this Eagle Scout Court of Honor in session. Escort, please bring the candidate front and center to be presented to this court and to our witnesses.
Here's that candidate, Jonathan Suppe.
Mr. Suppe, welcome to your Eagle Court of Honor. As we begin this Eagle Court of Honor and examine the trial to Eagle, we must first follow the scouting tradition of reciting the Scout Oath and Scout Law. All Scouts rise for the reciting of the oath and law. Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout Law. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. You may all be seated.
In scouting, as well as most of life's activities, there are rules. The rules of scouting are found in 12 points of the Scout Law. Let us pay careful attention to the words and rededicate ourselves to the principles contained in these words.
A scout is trustworthy. A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is a part of his code of conduct. A scout is loyal. A scout is true to his family, his friends, his scout leaders, his school, the nation, and the world community. A Scout is helpful. The Scout is concerned about others. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. The Scout is friendly. The Scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to all Scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from his own. The Scout is courteous. The Scout is polite to everyone regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easier to get along with other people. The Scout is kind. The Scout understands that there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated and is never cruel to living things. The Scout is obedient. The Scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and his country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to change them in an orderly manner rather than to disobey them. The Scout is cheerful. The Scout always looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does his tasks that come his way, and he looks to make others happy. The Scout is thrifty. The Scout works to pay his way and to help others. He saves for his future. He protects and conserves natural resources, and he carefully uses time and property. The Scout is brave. The Scout can face danger even if he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh or threaten him. The Scout is clean. The Scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by the same ideals. He helps keep his home and community clean. The Scout is reverent. The Scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
Will Jonathan Stuckey please stand now?
I am the voice of the eagle whose heights you have struggled hard to reach. We remember when you started in scouting and looked up at the eagle right with ambition and determination. Recall for a moment where you have been and all the experiences you have encountered on your way up. These experiences should never be forgotten, for experience is a valuable mentor if you heed its teachings. We remember when you took your first step on the scouting trail, when you have received the scout badge. You began to build yourself physically, mentally, and morally. You started to live by the scout oath and law. Your scout leaders watched you carefully. They observed you studying, learning the skills of scouting by doing. You earned the rank of tenderfoot. Soon, you reach a plateau. And then you earn the second class rank. You've encountered second class scouts who stopped to take their breath. Some never got going again, but not you. You pushed forward and worked on your scouting skills. And before you could reach the plateau of the first class scout. You had learned the basic scout skills and were tempted to rest on your achievements. You could have remained, but your ambition drove you on. Soon, you advanced to the rank of Star Scout. The trail from first class to Star is not as difficult as it seemed when you started. The realization spurred on your ambition and drove you further to move forward, and you climbed higher. The sail was steeper and less worn. Fewer scouts it seemed to be with you to continue, and soon you reached the rank of lifespan. After the hard badge placed upon your uniform, you would realize I am too close to eagle
stop. I must push on. The trail became tougher, but more interesting. The scout oath and law had fulfilled a deeper meaning. Your understanding of them was greater. All scouts that have stood at the plateau of Life Scout have experienced all the same feelings. We have watched your character develop and mature. We have watched your leadership expand into a valuable asset. We have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. Now you are on the threshold of your goal. We salute you, for you have achieved it in a true scout-like manner.
Mr. and Mrs. Suppes, please come forward. Jonathan, please come forward. It is tradition that the mother of the eagle presents her son with the eagle badge. Now, Jonathan, in recognition of the wisdom and guidance given to you by your father, will you present him with the Eagle Father's pin, which will be worn with pride and honor? Jonathan, in recognition of the many hours of patience, guidance, and support to you by your mother, please present her with the Eagle Mother's pin.
We would now like to invite forward a few individuals and organizations who have come here to congratulate you, Jonathan, this afternoon. Our first guest is Mayor Tom Kelly. Mayor Burley.
Thank you very much again for inviting me. It's a real tribute to your troop that I'm here so often that you have so many ceremonies. It's always an honor to be here. Congratulations. Your project is absolutely beautiful, and it's something that our town and our residents and even our guests will enjoy for many years to come. So congratulations on that. And because of this special day today, I have come here with a proclamation. Today is Jonathan Suppy's Day here in Dumont. Jonathan, a resident of Dumont and senior at Dumont High School, has been active in scouting since first grade and is a member of Boy Scout Troop 64. And whereas Jonathan, inspired by the medical field, has volunteered his time at the nearby Ambulance Corps in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, and plans on pursuing his aspirations in the medical field while attending James Madison University, majoring in athletic training on the pre-medical track. And whereas Jonathan's project, comprised of 3 parts, was to refurbish sections of Bedford Park, which is also known as the McGraw Park, located on Bedford Road. And whereas the first part involved construction of a 4-bed design, the first design had 3 circle beds, in which 2 of the beds each had a weeping cherry tree, and in it, the third circle bed consisted of a flagpole in the middle and a supporting wall made of unilock bricks, supporting the pole with emerald grove bushes, surrounding the wall, and the 4th bed consisted of 3 benches. And whereas the second part was removing the flagpole by cutting to level to the ground and replacing with the new flagpole within the 4 beds. And the last part of this project was consisted of weeding and re-edging the playground area around the park and putting in new gray mulch. And whereas Jonathan's project, which benefits the residents of Dumont, was completed in conjunction with the Dumont Recreation Commission. Now therefore be resolved that I, James J. Kelly, Mayor of Dumont, do proclaim August 2nd, 2014 as Jonathan Suppy's Day. The entire community of Dumont joins Jonathan, his family, as well as his friends in celebration, and Jonathan has extended every best wish on this special day and hope that his future holds every realization of his dreams. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Mayor, the script says Tom Kelly. Validated through the service. Is Senator Cardinale here? On behalf of Senator Cardinale's office, Senator Gerald Cardinale, New Jersey, District 39. Joseph Bianco, representing the office of Assemblywoman Holly Shapiz.
Assemblyman North, representing the office of Assemblyman North. Pleasure to meet you today. I had a very interesting thought. I was sitting here and I scribbled a few notes down. You're going to know it's true because the good Reverend mentioned the project for Eagles, Bedford Park, right? So I started thinking to myself for a moment, and I thought of Bedford Falls. Anybody know that name?
Wonderful item.
There you go. And I started making parallels between Bedford Park and Bedford Falls and what it is we're doing here today. So I scribbled them down. I'm going to try to read them briefly, but tell me what you think. And you tell me what you think. So, you know, Bedford Falls, George Bailey grew up in a small town, and everybody helped build George's character. The local people in town. Now we kind of live in a big town, so Jonathan went through the ranks of the scouting organization, and each one of those merit badges and all the people that help him guide and get it, help develop your character. Then, he had to, George had to help the family out with the banking business, and he really didn't want to do that, but he stayed there and he helped the family business. And he had to stay focused doing that because he had all sorts of distractions. He wanted to get on boats, planes, and trains, I believe is what he said. His comment in the movie was the three most enjoyable sounds are boats, the boat anchor, the train whistle, and the sound of an airplane starting up. So he really wanted to travel, but he wound up staying in Bedford Falls because he stayed focused. You stay focused too, because there are a lot of distractions, Jonathan. There's school and sports and girls and social activities and everything to pull you away from your goal. But you may have done those things, but you had temperament and you stayed focused on what you really wanted to do, which got you here today. And George pulled people out of the slums. Mr. Potter's slums. And he gave him an opportunity to buy a single-family home and raise a family in a beautiful way. Isn't your motto to be helpful? There you go. And then finally, toward the end, everybody knows George had a tough life and he had some real problems and he almost took a bad way out. But, he had some people, even Clarence, the angel, to help him out. And you've developed many friends during your ascension to the Eagle today, and I'm sure there's some in the audience and all these people out here, plus your comrades and colleagues behind you, have all participated in all these things that you've done. And you have a special moment with each one of them, a special memory with each one of them, and I'm sure, Jonathan, if you needed help like George did, they would do the same thing that they did in A Wonderful Life, to rally around and go in a few buses and do whatever it took to get you back on your feet. So we're really looking at this as a day of renewal. There's going to be a lot of people looking at you like you're George Bailey. And you're probably going to really get out there and perform admirably. But you may stumble, you may fall. You have all your friends here, and you've got all the things you learned to help you carry the day. So, with that being said, I want to congratulate you, the scouting staff, because I keep coming back here. It's delightful to do that. Your mother and father and all your friends who helped you, and give you some certificates from the Senate on behalf of Senator Cardinale and from the Assembly. And now, Mr. Bianco is going to read a presentation quickly from the State Assembly and Senate. You also. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe Bianco. I'm a legislative aide to Assemblywoman Holly Beasley. Pleasure to be here. I have the distinct honor to present from the state of New Jersey a joint citation from the State Senate and the General Assembly, which reads, "Commendations and praise are extended to Jonathan Suppe, Troop 64, by the citizens of the 39th New Jersey Legislative District and their elected representatives for receiving the Eagle Award, the highest honor bestowed by the Boy Scouts of the United States of America, and signed by Gerald Cardinale, member of the State Senate, Holly Beasley, member of the General Assembly, and Robert Block, member of the General Assembly." Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Our next speaker is Rich Correa from the Dumont Arts Center.
This is a new site. Usually they come in the theater borough. It's an honor for me to be here. My name is Rich Correa, chairman of Recreation for over 20 years. I've been involved in this wonderful town. body of volunteers, 9 of us, and Don Monroe, our commissioner, is here also. And we were just amazed at the accomplishment of all these scouts in this town. I mean, we're not a big town, and as they say, it never gets old coming up here. This is a tribute to our community. First of all, I would like to thank and congratulate the Suppes. Wonderful job. All the foundation we hit right here. You know it, right? I first met Jonathan Suppes as a CIT at the summer recreation camp at one time. He was no longer here, but in spirit she is. It was raving about this young man. And for those of you who don't know what CIT is a counselor in training. They do not get paid. They come for 6 weeks, assist other counselors, whatever needs to be done, all volunteering their time. This man had perfect attendance. So it was very easy to hire. And this is what we built up in our youth, and it was all started from one time, started that program. So when I came up to rec, when Jonathan came up to rec years later, I knew this young man's talent and working so hard on projects. And he explained the projects, and there's a lot of paperwork involved that we don't see other than the final product, but he could tell you many guys coming over, get paper signed, a lot of groundwork that he had to do. And the commissioners were all in favor 100% in this project. As the mayor had said, it is Memorial Park, part of the Bedford complex there, and it looks fantastic. If anybody wants to take a ride up there, it is fantastic. It's just wonderful to watch. I know you guys didn't even know, but I used to drive by and see you and your father debating on different angles and constantly changing and all that, but it's wonderful to watch. It's just fantastic. This is what I get out of this town. The juice when I see young men like this grow up, it's just fantastic. I sit in James, and some of the other Eagle Scouts that are here. I see Justin, wonderful. We have Greg Coordination who's here, great volunteer. I haven't seen in years. I mean, this is what this community is. It's people, and it's just wonderful. I will be recommending to this commission, to my recreation commissioner and council, that the rec dedicate that monument to the war. It is fitting, in my opinion. It was built by volunteers. This here war on terror is a volunteer army. Unlike years ago, we used to have the draft. Many years ago. But this here war, these young men and women that are out there are volunteers. So I will be recommending that to my commission. And at this point, I would like to thank you, sir. Jonathan Suppes for the Eagle Scout Project at Bedford Field, Dumont Recreation Commission. Thank you.
I would now like to invite up to the podium the Dumont Borough Administrator, Mr. John Perkins. John?
an old receipt from CBS and a $5 bill. That we also give Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you for inviting me. The story goes that back in the 50s, I was a Cub Scout. And we were at a presentation one day, and last minute, they said that an Eagle Scout was coming in. Now, I had no idea what an Eagle Scout was. I expected wings. I expected that he sat up in a tree. Shortly thereafter, I went into the Boy Scouts, realized how hard it was to become an Eagle Scout. Decided not to do that, which is probably why I'm a borough administrator and not a mayor. So I went on to Explore, which was actually pretty cool, and this is when the Explorers first started, this is back in the early 60s. But I got to tell you, I've dealt with 64 and other troops in the past to see the number of projects and the number of Eagle Scouts that are coming through the ranks. And it's an honor for me for a scout to come in to make a presentation to me as the first person that they would see on the borough side and ask some recommendations and approvals, which it was a pleasure dealing with Jonathan, very professional. And you can look at, if you ever get a chance to go online and look at the people that were Eagle Scouts in this country, I mean, presidents, vice presidents, heads of state, generals, a lot of the candidates for military schools were Eagle Scouts, astronauts, I mean, the list goes on and on. And I honestly think that in scouting, when you attain Eagle, and even lesser in scouting, when you become a man and you attain these things, it gives you the ability to look forward and attain other great things. And again, all you have to do is look at the list. So while I don't have a presentation for Jonathan, I want to congratulate him on behalf of myself, again, the mayor and council, and the residents of Dumont. And to the parents, congratulations.
Thank you, John.
Our next presenter is Captain Mike Connor from the Dumont Police Department. Captain Connor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Dumont Police Department, I'm here to present 2 awards to Jonathan. One comes from the Bergen County Police Chiefs Association. It's the Eagle Honor Award presented to Jonathan Suppe from the Bergen County Police Chiefs Association of New Jersey. Congratulations on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. This high honor is a reflection of hard work, devoted work, with ultimate regard for the concept of Americanism. Pledge to continue spiritual, mental, and physical growth. Issued to you from the Bergen County Police Chiefs Association. Secondly, I have a letter from Chief Joseph Falmore, Chief of Police, Dumont Police Department. Dear Jonathan, on behalf of myself and all the members of the Dumont Police Department, I would like to extend our sincere congratulations to you on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. I understand that your Eagle Scout project, you chose to refurbish a section of McGraw Park, located on Bedford Road. You removed and installed a new flagpole, constructed 4 new gardens, and replaced 3 park benches at that location. As Chief of Police and of the Dumont Police Department, and more importantly, a Dumont resident, I am honored that you are a member of our community. Again, congratulations and best wishes on a job well done. Now for my own words. I'm going to vote for this. I'll tell you a bit of a story. About 4 months ago, actually February 2014, I was approached by a resident of Dumont, a young girl who was a student at Dumont High School, and she asked me if I would get involved in an event called the Relay for Life. I don't know if you're familiar with the event. We held that event 4 months later at Dumont High School, and I should note, thanks to the Board of Education, we do have some members of
employees of the Board of Education here, so I do need to note that they were instrumental in allowing us to use the Dumont High School facility. Our governing body, thank you also to you for allowing us to carry on this event throughout the night. I don't know, did anybody attend this event with me? With anyone else? No. Okay. A grueling event. I was approached 4 months later. We get this event off the road, off the ground. It's June 6th, and we hold an event. And what it is, it's a 12-hour relay for life. We walk around the track at Dumont High School, and you stay out there and you walk around this track in your team for 12 hours. Your pledges give you the money, and then you present it to the American Cancer Society. Well, our first meeting, I should note, was conducted 3 weeks after I was approached in February. And our idea then was, if we can clear $2,000, we'll do pretty well on this event. So what we end up doing is we go out and we solicit funds, and we also obviously solicit volunteers, because an event like this does not take place with a paid staff. And in addition to that, we end up going to the governing body, to the Board of Education, and we acquire the permits and the approvals to run this event throughout the night. Well, it should be noted that in 4 months, we pulled off this event. So June 6th, 6 p.m., the event starts, and as of last week, and you should know that I'm an individual who constantly goes on these websites and checks to see what our progress is. So when we started the event, we started checking, and I said, well, we're up to $800. This is good. And I said, well, we're up to $1,900, and this is good. And when we hit $1,900, I printed that screen, and I put it in my office. I thought, we're going to hit $2,000. This is fantastic. Last week, 2 weeks ago rather, I attended a meeting, and we cleared $42,000 for this particular event. That's amazing. You make $42,000 in the strive to end, obviously, a very devastating disease. And more importantly, and this relates to your scouting, and in particular of all the scouts here, you don't do this on your own, and you don't do it as what we started with, an 8-person team. You do this with more and more help from more and more people. That night we ran the event, we ran it with about 12 people, 12 volunteers, to check people in, to do everything from dumping garbage cans to cleaning up, to setting up beverages and food and everything else. Jonathan, you're in scouting, you achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. I think of the Scout Law and I think of all those particular items, besides trustworthy and loyal, but you need to be helpful, you need to be friendly, you need to go out and you need to continue to give back to your community. My words to you are, don't stop here, don't stop at scouting, and don't stop at the Eagle Scout rank. I attended a meeting 2 weeks ago, and in that particular meeting they asked, we went around the room and said, why did you get involved in Relay for Life? So, of course, the standard answer from a lot of people who indicated they had a loved one who had conquered cancer or succumbed to cancer. Well, they got to me, and my answer was totally different than everybody in the room. I said, I have a good job, I live in the community, and I can't just end with just doing the work that I do as a police officer. I have to give back. And they kind of looked at me surprisingly. I said, it's not enough just to go in and get a paycheck and do nothing else for the community. You've continued to do that. You presented a project, you saw it through, and you left the project in place in the park for years and years and years for people to enjoy that project. You're going on to college. My answer to you and my question to you is, are you going to continue to strive to continue to give back to college, give back to the community, give back to all those people who need something out there? Absolutely. I would hope so. And I thank you for that answer. I extend to everybody the same question. Hopefully, you're not just living your life in your bubble and just doing what you want to do. I mean, it's very easy to say, I'm busy. I've got a lot to do. I've got a lot on my plate. But what do they say, right? You want to get something done? Find the person who's the busiest. Find the person who has the most to do. Approach that person. They will fit that item, fit that project into their schedule. So continue to fit those particular items, those particular projects into your schedule. Continue to look out there in the community, wherever it is. It may not be Dumont next year. It may not be Dumont in 10 years. But
continue to do that, because to give back comes right back to your heart. And believe me, the community will appreciate that, day after day, year after year. Congratulations, best wishes, continue to do what you're doing now.
Our next speaker, representing the Boy Scouts of America, is Mr. Steve Leonardi. Mr. Leonardi.
Good afternoon. I work full-time as district director for Boy Scouts in an area we call Three Rivers District. And that's encompasses all of Hudson County and 3/4 of Bergen County. And in that area, there are about 180 Boy Scout troops, truck packs, and venture crews. So every time I'm invited to come to the Eagle Court of Honor, it's really an honor for me, because it's really a chance for all of us, everybody here in this room, to celebrate together as a community. Because I know, just a few years ago, I was at my own Eagle Court of Honor. I know I didn't do it all by myself, but I mean, the key thing is to have a young man with drive and ambition to reach that rank of Eagle Scout. But they're supported by not only their close, loving family, but many other folks who work behind the scenes. And here in the audience today, there are many uniformed leaders who are not directly involved with Troop 64. There are folks directly involved with the support of Troop 64. There are other Eagle Scouts, other members of the troop working together as a team. So that all comes together to bring us here today, and I always get great pleasure in seeing that happen. Now, Jonathan, you should really think about your Eagle Scout achievement. It's not really the end of the path for you, it's more like a fork in the road. Because as I got older, I realized that the rank of Eagle Scout just doesn't disappear. And we as a group, we're going to continue to look to you and other Eagle Scouts to perhaps take a step forward when others are taking a step back. And we look to Eagle Scouts to come up with some of those answers to those challenging problems out there in life. And we look at Eagle Scouts to be good neighbors, somebody who'd like to live next door to, which one doesn't seem to have any problem with. So congratulations. I have a certificate from the Council of P3 Leadership, the Council President, the Scout Executive, and Council Commissioner commemorating your achievement. And we look forward to great things for you in the future.
A little bit earlier, we recited the Boy Scout law. The 10th item that's mentioned is a scout is brave. Speaking of the brave, our next presenters from the Duty Birds, the Marine Corps League. Gentlemen.
We are the Duty Birds. Jim Barringer, Phil Sullivan, and I'm Joe Johnson. Part of the Duty Birds Marine Corps League, we meet in New Milford the second Thursday of every month. And what we do is we have a Rose program, try to help out the wounded warriors, we visit the hospitals, the VA hospitals, play bingo. We have scholarships for the Marines, sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters. I have a good citizenship award here for Jonathan. The Duty Bird Department, Marine Corps League, congratulates you on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Since our inception, November 10, 1775, the United States Marine Corps has understood that only a few good men and women are capable of completing the physical, mental, and sometimes seemingly impossible requirements that are needed to be called a Marine. So it is with the rank of Eagle Scout. For over 100 years, thousands of boys have enjoyed the scouting program, but only a handful, about 4%, will achieve the highest award in scouting. Another similarity between the Marines and the Eagle Scouts is that there is no such thing as an ex-Marine or a former Eagle Scout. Once earned, the coveted titles will remain with them forever. The following goals of scouting: citizenship, training, character development, and personal fitness, along with requirements in the area of leadership, service, and outdoor skills, you are well prepared to take on your place in your community as a responsible, patriotic leader that will set an example for others to follow. On behalf of all those who now wear the uniform of the Marine Corps League, we commend your superior achievement. Please accept this Achievement Award and Department Eagle Patch from the Marine Corps League as our way of showing appreciation to you, the youth of America, the nation's future leaders. Semper Fidelis. Semper Fidelis is Latin, which means always faithful. It's a Marine motto. We did not become Marines on our own. Our DIs molded us into Marines. As with Jonathan, his proud parents helped him become an Eagle Scout. His Scout leaders all helped him in becoming an Eagle Scout. The highest compliment a Marine can give anybody is to tell that person that he or she would make a good Marine. I gotta say this, there's one thing I don't like about this whole ceremony. I say it all the time. It won't be on the 6 o'clock news, where it should be. The true leaders of tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Newly graduate cast from the Marine Corps League, I'd like to present you with a certificate of Good Citizens Award, along with the patch from the Department of New Jersey Marine Corps League.
Gentlemen, thank you for your service to our nation. Semper Fi. At this time, can Nicholas and Matthew Suppes please come forward as they would like to say a few things.
Hello, I'm Matt Suppes, Jay's older brother. Thank you everyone for coming and supporting my little brother. I just want to say I was pretty heavily involved in the construction aspect of this project, and I saw the countless hours he put in a computer and doing all the paperwork and everything together, and I couldn't be more proud. I mean, he's grown so much over the years. I think the Boy Scouts are a big part of that. And I'm saying congratulations, so I'm proud of you.
Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to be quite as involved in the Eagle Scout project that I would like to mention. I was away at school for most of it, so I kind of saw it from afar. But when Jay first asked me to speak here, I started to think about what I wanted to talk about and all the different attributes and characteristics that it takes to be a Boy Scout and eventually Eagle Scout that Jay has. And a lot of different things came to mind, a lot of the laws and things like that that I spoke of earlier. But the thing that really came to mind first for me is his mental toughness. This is a kid who's dealt with a lot of adversity. He's done a lot of different things in his life. Not everything's come easy. He's worked really hard to get what he's gotten to, and he really deserves it. Like I said, even as a small kid, he had to deal with a lot of different things. And he really put it aside, kept his composure, and really excelled in anything that he wanted to. Whatever he put his mind to, whatever he set a goal for, he was able to put everything else aside, block all the other things out, and finish it up. That's something that I look up to even as his older brother. It's something that I can learn from. It's something that a lot of people can learn from, is just having that ability to set goals and block out all the different distractions that comes with life and be able to reach those goals. And I know life's not quite this simple, but if you put everything else aside and just continue to keep doing that, while in school, college, JMU, even after that, you'll be just fine. That's a really important thing to have, and it's not something that's just taught, it's something that you have to be born with and eventually mold. And I think that's part of the Boy Scouts and eventually Eagle Scouts did as well, is really mold the skill that he already had into something that he's perfected. I can't be proud of everybody. Good luck next year at JMU. You're going to have a blast. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Is there anyone else in attendance here who would like to address our Eagle candidate today? Mr. Sal Maurice.
I can't tell you how proud I am of this kid. And I want to thank the Gooney Birds for comparing the scout leaders to drill instructors. And as these boys back here will tell you, I am the drill instructor. Since Jay was a little kid, I got a picture of me and my son Salvatore at T-ball, and Jay was on the team, and Jay was standing in the background, and he's just standing there looking up in the sky, just like this. From then, I knew your aspirations were going to be great, because all you were doing was looking forward. When he came to me with this project, he was a ball of fire, and I had to slow him down because he wanted to get everything signed, get going, let's go. No, you have to do everything step by step, and patience is a virtue, and I think you learned patience doing this, right? This whole ordeal with all the approvals and this and that and the other thing. And, once we got the project going, did it go well? Did it go smooth? Everything went great? You guys raised a great kid. He's a great kid. Jay. Right.
Do we have anyone else here in attendance who would like to address Mr. Suppes? No. On behalf of this court, I would like to extend congratulations not only for satisfying the many necessary requirements, Jonathan, but also for setting an objective and for displaying the perseverance that is necessary in attaining that goal and any goal. Jonathan, we congratulate you because you are now prepared to serve with those who have served you, but this is not the end. To you, this should be the real beginning of the meaning of Scout. This should be the real beginning of the exemplification in your life of all those characteristics that are encompassed in the Scout law. To your teachers, to your religious leaders, to this community, to your parents, we thank you for a job well done. We've just presented an Eagle badge, and this badge is a mark of identity. As the gentleman from the Marine Corps League said, you are never an ex-Eagle Scout. You are never an ex-Marine. The Eagle badge is a beautiful symbol, but it is only a piece of metal and some cloth. That metal will fade, it will get bent, that cloth will fade and get frayed as time goes by, but the ideals that you exemplify as a young man will never fade. You have grown to believe not only in the Scout Law, but in your ability to display each and every one of these characteristics. And Jonathan, as your life expands, you will continue to grow more fully in your understanding. Our Eagle Scout, Mr. Jonathan Suppe. He will present some things to his members.
I'd first like to start off by thanking everyone here today who came out to celebrate this special day with me. I'd like to give an additional thank you to Mayor Duca, Senator Cardinal, Mr. Correa, and the Dumont Park and Recreation Committee, Joe Bianco, Steve Leonardi, for presenting me with all these generous gestures. Scouting has taught me a lot over the years. The very first day when I was a little Tiger Scout, not knowing anything about scouting meant or what it meant to be in Scouts. But as years went by, I started to learn what it meant to be a Scout. Hearing the Scout Law, the Scout Oath each and every week, I started to realize that the Oath and the Law were not just a whole bunch of words put together to make it sound good, but there actually was a purpose and there was a meaning to it. I started to realize being a Scout meant that you had an obligation, and that to be better in the community around you and to better yourself. Because in order to be in Scouts in any level, you need to have a certain personality. And that personality is creating an individual who cares about others before they care about themselves. Through my life, I've had tremendous amount of support, not only in Scouting, but as a whole. My family has backed me up every step of the way, and I cannot thank them enough. My grandmother, who I miss each and every day, who was the biggest supporter, taught me so much in my life. My grandfather, who also was there each and every day with me. My grandparents were there for me no matter what. We share some memories that I'll never forget and will last a lifetime. Now my Aunt Susie, the lover of all animals, is the one that I can really honestly truly count on. She's there every step of the way. And I couldn't imagine what life would be without her. She always had my back no matter what. My parents who always back me up every single day, even though I'm on the nerves a lot, I mean a lot. They yell at me, but you know what? When it comes down to it, I know I can always go for them for support, and they're always there to listen. My father, who I have the most respect for, is an amazing father who sacrificed so much for our family, and I couldn't thank him enough for that. Now my mother, who's probably crying, she's also there no matter what. I mean, she helped me out throughout everything. I mean, throughout my life, she was definitely there. If I needed to speak to anybody, she was there to listen. Without her, I'd definitely be a lost cause. And I know it may be hard for you to let go of your little baby, as you call me, but I promise you everything will be okay. Now to my two brothers who care so much about me. I know we kid around a lot, and we're a decent amount a lot. And we play a lot of games and stuff like that, but you help me throughout everything. I mean, you really back me up through everything I do. You're always there for me. No matter what, I can always count on you guys, no matter what. And I really look up to you guys, and I'm really lucky to say that I have two brothers that I care so much about, and that they care so much about me. Now, getting back to scouting, there's been a lot of people that have helped me throughout the years. From when I was a little one, starting out in Scouts, Mr. Shook and Mrs. Benducci were the ones who helped me out, and I really started figuring out what scouting was for me. And that's really were the people who got me interested in scouting. And I cannot thank them enough for all that they helped and given me. My first mentor pin goes to someone who has helped me way beyond their means and has been there every step of the way, helping me out with merit badges, just looking at my book if I need anything checked off, or if I need anything, countless hours we spent at her house. If I could count on one person in scouting, it's definitely the person I can count on and I can always go to. And if Marty could please come up and receive her mental. Now, the next mentor pin goes to someone who's definitely a one-of-a-kind person. There's probably no one out there like him. I think, honestly, the only person that kind of relates to him is my dad. I knew him for a very, very long time. He was my first baseball coach back in T-ball. We shared some great, great memories together. One actually was when I actually did go to summer camp for once. Like, which was not like camping at all. Not camping. And if you could come up, so Maurice.
One more before summer camp tomorrow.
Now, my next mentor pin goes to someone new in this troop. He's helped me a lot, a huge help in my Eagle project. If I had any questions, he was definitely there to answer. He was always there to listen. He always gave me a good answer, and it was a true, true answer. And George would receive Eagle pin. Definitely helped my mom out a lot to understand what everything was and everything that's going on. Always on the phone. Any questions, signatures, going to her house and everything like that. She really helped me out. And Mrs. Rubin, if you could. Countless hours with me with my Eagle project, out there sweating the storm. Someone who is there for me no matter what, been there every step of the way, no matter anything that I ask him, he's always there, 100%, full attention and everything. Really, 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 really helped me out with my project. Without him, I don't think I'd be able to do it. No way I'd got it done. And if Matt, could you come up and see your mentor? Everybody's saying very nice things and everything, and I really appreciate it. You really made this day special, and thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, this court is now adjourned. Senior Patrol Leader, please come forward, and please retire the colors. Will everyone please stand? Color guard, retire the colors.
Everyone please stand. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you very much for being with us this afternoon.
Please remain standing for the benediction.
Jonathan, we certainly all do share with you today in your becoming an Eagle Scout. I think I've been awed by the very genuinely felt tributes that have been given to you by so many people here today, including those by your brother Nicholas and what's his name. Overlook our mistakes. May God truly bless you with a very lasting memory of your becoming an Eagle Scout here today, as well as your parents, Barbara and Teddy and family, fellow Scouts, and all of us here today. And may God's blessing be upon each and every one of us, all of us here today. May He bless us all, each and every one, with His blessings to us of happiness, joyfulness, loveliness, hopefulness, and peacefulness. May God's blessings be upon you all. Go now in peace, and may the blessings of Almighty God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be with you all. God bless you. God be with you. Go in peace. Amen.
This concludes our ceremony. Thank you very much for being with us this afternoon. We invite all guests to come forward to congratulate the new Eagle Scout, Jonathan Suppe, and his family, and to join us for the reception in the meeting downstairs in Fellowship Hall. Thank you.
I smell food, so I wander down.
I've noticed that. You always have places that are there. I don't get it.
There's always food there, so I want this to be like
Just Scout just fit in.
You know what? You should actually consider this showing to a scout shop.
Congratulations. I'd like to thank the Academy for this award.
For this moment, say peace.
Peace and
You know, a heart of steel starts to grow. All his life he's been told he'll be nothing when he's old.
Right there, let's take a picture. Look out.